The Cursed Crown. In the ancient kingdom of Eldoria, where magic coursed through the rivers like lifeblood, a prophecy foretold of a crown that would bring both ruin and salvation. It was known as the Cursed Crown of Azareth, a relic forged by a fallen king whose hunger for power shattered the balance of the realm. For centuries, the crown lay hidden beneath the ruins of Shadowkeep, waiting for the one destined to claim it. Many had sought it, foolish warlords, ambitious kings, and reckless adventurers, only to vanish without a trace. It was said that the crown whispered to those who neared it, luring them with promises of ultimate power while consuming their souls. Then came Erendor, a young knight with no noble blood but a heart untainted by greed. He had spent years searching for the truth behind the myths, guided by the words of an old seer who spoke of an approaching darkness only the rightful bearer of the crown could defeat. With nothing but a rusted sword and a heart full of resolve, he ventured into the cursed ruins. The descent into Shadowkeep. Inside Shadowkeep, the air was thick with the scent of decay, and shadows seemed to move of their own will. Strange whispers slithered through the corridors, voices of the lost souls who had dared to claim the crown. As Erendor delved deeper, the walls seemed to close in, shifting and reshaping as if the keep itself were alive. He encountered the first guardian at the Bridge of Wailing Souls, a towering wraith clad in tattered armor, wielding a blade forged from nightmares. The wraith spoke in a hollow voice, "Turn back, mortal, lest your soul be bound to this cursed place forever." Erendor raised his sword. "I do not seek power, only to end the curse." The wraith let out an ear-piercing screech and attacked. The battle was brutal, each strike of the wraith's sword sending shockwaves through the air. Erendor fought with everything he had, dodging swift blows and countering with precise strikes. With a final thrust, he drove his sword into the wraith's core. A burst of spectral energy erupted, and the wraith dissolved into nothingness. The Throne of Azareth. At the heart of the ruins, Erendor found the throne room. The air was thick with malevolence, the torches burning with eerie blue flames. Atop a shattered pedestal sat the cursed crown, its blackened metal gleaming with unnatural light. The moment his eyes met its surface, he felt a presence coil around his mind, a voice seductive and powerful. "Wear me, and kingdoms shall kneel before you. Refuse me, and your world will burn." Erendor felt the weight of countless souls pressing upon him. He gritted his teeth. He had not come for power, he had come to break the curse. Summoning every ounce of will, he gripped the hilt of his sword and struck the crown. A terrible wail erupted, shaking the ruins as spectral figures emerged, remnants of those who had fallen to the crown's hunger. But the crown did not shatter so easily. The last test. A deep rumbling filled the chamber, and from the shadows emerged Azareth himself, his spectral form towering over Erendor. His eyes burned with a malevolent fire. "Fool! You think you can end what I began? You are but a pawn, and you will take my place." Erendor barely had time to react before Azareth attacked. The fallen king wielded magic and steel, his strikes relentless. The chamber itself seemed to twist and distort with every clash of their blades. Erendor fought with everything he had, but Azareth's power was overwhelming. In that moment, Erendor remembered the seer's words, "The curse is bound to greed. Only one who denies power may sever its chains." Instead of fighting for victory, Erendor dropped his sword and knelt. "I will not claim this power, nor will I take your place." A furious howl erupted from Azareth as his form began to unravel. The crown, deprived of a vessel, cracked. Erendor grasped it with both hands and, with one final act of defiance, shattered it upon the ground. A surge of golden light erupted, washing over the land. The spirits found peace, and the dark grip of Azareth's curse lifted from Eldoria. The journey beyond. Yet, as the ruins crumbled around him, a lingering whisper echoed in the wind. The curse is never truly broken, only contained. Erendor emerged from Shadowkeep, but something had changed. The people of Eldoria rejoiced, yet their eyes, once filled with fear, now bore a quiet reverence when they looked upon him. Word spread of the lone knight who defied the darkness, and before long, nobles sought his allegiance, kings offered him lands, and scholars wrote of his deeds. But Erendor refused them all. He had seen the price of unchecked power, and he would not take the first step toward the path that had doomed Azareth. Instead, he traveled the land, seeking remnants of the curse, ensuring that no fragment of the crown's dark magic could take root again. One evening, deep within the Whispering Woods, he came across a child who carried a pendant that pulsed with the same eerie glow as the crown once did. The boy's village had discovered ancient relics buried beneath their soil, unaware of the dangers lurking within. With gentle hands, Erendor took the pendant and, beneath the watchful eyes of the moon, he buried it deep where no one would ever find it. And so, his journey continued, not as a king, not as a hero, but as a guardian against the shadows that once sought to consume the world. As long as there were whispers of power, there would always be those drawn to it. And as long as they existed, so too would Erendor, the knight who chose duty over glory, forever ensuring that the mistakes of the past would never be repeated. The Eternal Watcher. Years passed, and legends turned to myths. But on stormy nights, when the wind howled through the valleys, travelers swore they saw the shadow of a lone knight standing upon the cliffs, watching over the land. They called him the Eternal Watcher, the one who defied the curse and chose the path of sacrifice. And thus, the tale of the cursed crown lived on, not as a story of conquest, but as a warning, one that would echo through time for all who sought power beyond their means.